You need to recall your conversion. 10 millimeters make 1 centimeter. So because centimeter is bigger than millimeter, you need to change 2 centimeter into millimeter by multiplying it by 10. The reason why I want you to always change the bigger unit is to avoid going into decimals. It's not best to have decimals in ratios. So 30 will still become 30, but 2 cm in terms of millimeter will now become 2 times 10, 20. Now once you convert them to the same unit, there is no need to have units because they are more or less the same in the same context, so there's no need for the units. Now you go by the same rule. Highest common factor of 30 and 20, that is 10. So when you simplify, you're going to have 3:2. And mind you here, 3:2 is the simplified form of 30 millimeters to 2 centimeters. And you don't need to put down any unit for this one. This time we have 2 hours to 40 minutes. Now in this case you check hours and minutes, which one is bigger? Hours. So we need to change hours into minutes. What is your conversion? 60 minutes equals 1 hour. So for you to be able to simplify ratio in different units, you must first learn your conversion. Learn them by heart. So we're going to change 2 hours into minutes because an hour is bigger than a minute or longer than a minute. So we multiply 2 hours by 60. So 2 hours now becomes 120. 2 hours it becomes 120, and 40 minutes is still 40 minutes. Once you convert them into the same minutes, you don't need to put down the units. Highest common factor will give you 40, divide both sides by 40. So 120 is to 40 is the same as 3:1. So we can now say that 3:1 is a simplified form of 2 hours to 40 minutes. And as usual, you don't need to put down any units. Okay. Now lastly, I'm going to show you where we have simplifying across different ratio. You're comparing different ratio and you have to simplify them across. So this is called simplifying ratio by comparison. In a bag there are blue, green and yellow counters, so 3 colors: blue, green and yellow counters. The ratio of blue counters to green counters is 2 to 5. Ratio of green counters to yellow counters is 3 to 4. Write down the ratio of blue to yellow counters in the bag in simplest form. I suggest pause this video and read this question yourself. Make sure you've understood the content. Okay, if you look carefully, we have 2 divisions. We have blue to green as one side, then we have green to yellow as one side. So let's write our ratio in that format. So this is the first section and this is the second section. First, blue to green, we have 2 to 5, then green to yellow, 3 to 4. We are supposed to write the ratio of green to yellow, as ratio of blue to yellow, sorry, so blue to yellow. Now you need to remember that the same green here, which is 5, has now become 3. So it depends on what you compare green with, the number changes, but the number of green will still be the same. So what you need to do is check them carefully. This green must be the same number. So the easiest way is that try to get the lowest common multiple. Think of going up in 3s. Think of going up in 5s and see what is the number that will be in both sections. That's what we call the lowest common multiple. So if you go in 3s, 3, 6, 9 and so on, 5, 10, 15 and so on, you will see that the lowest common multiple will be 15. So LCM is 15, which means that the green count as the smallest possible number is 15. So we need to make this 15. So to make this 15, you times this by 3. And to make this 15, you times this by 5. So we made this 15. Let's make this one also 15. So now we know the section. This section here, everything is times by 3. This section here, everything is times by 5. So let's go on and times it 2 by 3. So we know the blue smallest possible number is 6. Let's do the yellow side. 5 times 4. So we have 20 for the smallest number for yellow. So now we know that blue, green, yellow is 6, 15, 20. Blue, green, yellow is 6, 15, 20. The question says only blue and yellow. So take 6 and 20. Now simplify that. Divide by 2 because that is the highest common factor. So we have 3 to 10. 3 to 10. So this is what we call simplifying by comparison, comparing across different ratio. Now I'm just going to give you a little bit of test by asking you some questions. Pause each slide and see if you can get the answer right, just to see whether you've understood what you just watched. Next. Different units, so be careful, take your time and work this out. Convert them into the same unit. Change cm into millimeters. What did you get? Hope you got it right. Another different units. Change weeks into days. What did you get?